Welcome, everyone. We are live. Today's Thursday. Oh my, already. Some days I feel like the week is rushing to get me to Wednesday, Thursday. But who knows? It just feels that way. Observe the law for yourself. When you get up and you go out there, what are you dealing with? What types of situations are you dealing with? Well, if you look at them, you'll see your mental mood, your mental attitude. It's just a matter of paying attention to what you're doing. And sometimes we don't give ourselves that space to observe. We are so quick to judge ourselves. See, judgment of yourself, what does it feel like to you? Think about that. When you're talking foolishness to yourself, or you're judging yourself, or you feel guilty, or what does it feel like? You see, that's the part that we don't give much attention to. We just feel and we pop off. That's what we do. Feel and then we pop off. No, there's a little tiny window of opportunity. It might be bigger than tiny, but I'm just saying, there's a window of opportunity that we get when we feel. Feel for it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Before you commit, pardon me, to popping off, do you not feel what that feels like? You can't talk to me like that. Before it comes out of your mouth, you felt it. And you go, oh, you see that space for you. What? How dare you see that space? The space between when you feel it and when you act it out. That's the space I'm talking about. When you feel that, as my grandfather always said, taste your words before you speak. So before we pop off, what does it feel like? What does that thing feel like? Because when you know what it feels like, you'll know how you're going to act. I keep telling you this. And if you pay attention to it, you'll see. You're going to act the way you feel every single time. Unless, of course, you change the way you feel. And sometimes when you're so involved in it, when you are so involved in it, you're like, nah, I'll make time for you today. I hear people say that a lot. Oh, I got time for you today. You picked the wrong one. See that space? Before it comes out of your mouth, you felt it. And you know somebody's gonna get cussed out. Feel for it and you'll see. Why am I telling you this? Because we are so hard on ourselves when we quote unquote slip up. Do you know what I'm saying? We're so hard on ourselves. Listen to what you're saying to yourself and feel what it feels like in your body. And then decide, is that what you want? Is this what I want? Why? Nobody's going to walk all over me. Why do we... Listen, the reason why I'm giving you the examples of arguments is because more often than not, we as people argue in our mind's eye. We rehearse this inner argument all the time. We don't necessarily say to ourselves, what am I going to say to her if I see her? We don't always say that to ourselves. But you're out and about and something catches your ear. Yeah, and it catches your ear. And what's the first thing you say to yourself? You start to fight. I've said this to you before. You ever seen the picture of the cat? There's actually a video, and it has a Michael Jackson song playing in the background. Pardon me. You know how it is from Wednesday night to Thursday morning, y'all. um, it plays a Michael Jackson song, and there's this black and white cat in the mirror. You ever seen how cats get when they fight? They arch their back, right? Well, here's the kitty arched at itself in the mirror. And he's moving back and forth and he's hissing. He's got that tail. He's ready to fight. There's nobody there. There's nobody in the mirror other than himself. We're fighting ourselves. Why? And then we say, oh, I'm so tired. I'm tired of the way this thing is going in my life. Because we're fighting ourselves. Take your time and feel that space right in between. And as soon as you feel it, make your choice. Am I going to follow through with this? It's kind of like, not kind of, but it is like when you're hiking and they tell you, don't walk quietly. Walk and have loud conversations or yell or ring a little bell. Why? Because you're chasing away the bear before he gets to you. You've already, before you left your house to go hiking, you have already determined what you're going to do if you see a bear. And they jokingly say, well, I don't have to be the fastest person. I just got to be faster than you. Because the bear's going to get the slower one. So here we are. You have already rehearsed how you are going to behave if you see a bear. Man, I'm gonna stop, tuck, and roll. I'm gonna run. I don't know. But that's what I'm gonna do. Because I can't beat up a bear. You have already determined, one, you'll see a bear. Two, you know how you're gonna act when you see the bear. See? In your everyday life, as you're walking upon this earth and you are interacting with people, you have already rehearsed how you're going to behave. You've already rehearsed it. Man, if she tells me something I don't like, if she gives me her number or if she doesn't give me her number, or if he doesn't call me, See what you're doing? You are rehearsing. You are in your imagination and you're rehearsing. The moment you say, what? What if? What if that happened? Man, I can't handle that, man. I think I would have a nervous breakdown if that happened to me. Oh, here we are, practicing, rehearsing how we're going to behave. And then we act surprised. Then we're going to act surprised when we're living it out. First thing we're going to ask is, why does this happen to me? It's because people say, but Angela, that's just living. Exactly, it is just living. But one must be deliberate. I told you we offer points as a reward, and 1,000 points is $10, right? If you don't shop deliberately, you don't necessarily accrue any points. You might get savings if you're a member, and you scan a certain thing that's on sale, you'll get it for a more discounted sale price because you're a member. But that's not the accumulation of points. The accumulation of points, this lady came through the till last night. Prime example. I said to her, oh my, you earned 1,000 points tonight. She goes, yeah, you got to read the sign. And I've never tried these things before, so why not get the points? You know what that says about her? She's observant, right? Because some people will say to me, I didn't even see the label. I just go straight for what I like. I didn't see the label. They don't question things. See what I'm saying to you? It happens when you go grocery shopping. It happens if you go to the mall. It happens when you're driving. We're just living naturally. We're always going to live naturally. But the key is to be deliberate in that naturalness. You gotta be deliberate, y'all. Deliberate means you're doing it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. Are you living life on purpose? Well, that means you've got to be observant if you're going to live on purpose. Right? So today, as you go through the day, catch what you're doing. If you say, don't go red, don't go red, you're driving and you see the lights, don't go red. Is that what you want? If you don't want the light to go red, what do you want it to do? Stay green. Stay green. Don't go red. Okay, well, which one takes more energy? Stay green. Those are 2 words. Don't go red. 3 words. But look at how they make you feel when you say each sentence. Don't go red. Don't go red. There's a little bit of a panic there. But when you say stay green, you expect to go through that light. There's an expectation of when it is green, you're going to go. You're going to keep going. But if you say don't go red, don't go red, there's panic. There's fretting. I'm giving you these examples because we live every day. We live every day. I take that pause so you can feel it for yourself. Right? When I go to the grocery store, let me tell you something, Linda. Whew. I think everybody goes to the grocery store the same day as me. You go in and the line is long. The lines are long. And when I come in and I see those long lines, I say, you know what? By the time I get there, I'm next. I'm next. And I can say it always happens that I am next. As soon as I get there, I'm seen. I'm next. So that I can get in and get out, because I don't like to dilly-dally, man. I just don't. So what are you going to do? Are you going to observe your life? Look at the types of experiences you're having. Just look at them. And when I tell you not to judge, I feel like a broken record. But there's a reason for that. If you're just observing, you're neutral about the situation. You're not feeling one way or another. You're just looking at it to see what it's telling you. That's all you're doing. But if you're looking at this thing and you judge, or you feel sorry for yourself, what does that feel like in your body? Yeah. See what it feels like? Judgment. Why? It only makes you feel like crap. And the moment, think about it. If it is your habit, we call it victim mentality. If it is your habit to play the role of victim, what do you think the outcome is going to be? Well, clearly you're going to get victimized. You're you're playing the role. You're feeling it, and you're not interrupting it. You're just feeling it and going about your day like meh. But to become deliberate, you feel it. You just feel it. Don't feel it and say, oh my God. No, just feel it and go, oh, I see you. That's all you do. I see you. That's what you do. Just look at it. Because the moment you pick up the feelings now of either being upset or feeling afraid, because it is your habit, you're always going to get an experience that matches that feeling. Let's talk about spite. I touched on spite yesterday, but let's talk about it and understand. Let's just talk about it for a moment. Oh, yeah? You think you're so great? Oh, I wish this would happen to you, and then maybe you'd know. Do you know more often than not that's how we talk to ourselves? Hmm? Feel that. You know what it feels like to have gone through it, but because you're upset, you fully engaged with the upset. Now, if you are habitually upset, meaning it's your habit to just be cranky, well, what do you think? If you don't change that, what do you think your outcomes are going to be like? Was it going to feel like to you? This is why am I telling you this again? Because far too many times we give in. What's my son doing now? He's saying to me, oh, mom, my brain is just doing what it wants to. That's why I forgot. And I said to him, you didn't forget. You were just focused on something else. And if the thing that you are focused on has your attention so much, it blocks everything else out. So you can't cuss your brain and say, oh my God, my brain. You can't say that. Look at what you're doing. You're fully engaged in something else. That's where your attention is. And you can't hear or see anything else. So when you pick up the emotion and you commit to it without assessing it, now what are you doing? You're bringing that thing on over and over and over. You're bringing it on. And he says, well, I don't feel like I'm good at anything. And I'm like, oh, you're in a mood today, aren't you, son? He's, I just don't get it. And I'm like, okay, what are we going to do here? And I just talk him through it. I said, what are all the things you're good at? He's like, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this. And by the time he's done listening, I'm just sitting there looking at him. He's like, I do feel better, Ma. And I'm looking at him like, do you? He goes, yeah, I feel much better. Thanks for cheering me up. And I'm like, I did not cheer you up. I just asked you a question. And you turned your mind towards listing off everything you're good at. And I said to him, because you can't serve two masters. You can't have your brain focused on listing what you're good at, and at the same time, you're complaining that you're not good at anything. I said, you can't do both of those things at the same time. So, because you were so busy telling me what you're good at, your body said, oh, this is nice. This feels good. Let me sprinkle some endorphins in here. Because we're about to feel good, y'all. Did you hear that, cells? We're about to feel good. It's how your body responds. This is how it responds. You can't do two things at once. But if you turn your attention, and this is what I told someone yesterday, remember the baby. You're sitting with the baby on the floor and it's playing with its toys, and somebody in the kitchen is talking to you, but something shiny is in there. And so the baby now starts to crawl across to get to that shiny thing. This is where the images freeze. How are you going to handle that baby? Are you going to holler at the baby? Well, sure, that's effective. You'll scare the baby and make it cry, I'm sure. But they have no idea what you're saying. They just know because they can feel and see the expression on your face that you're mad. But what if you just walk towards the baby and say, hey, sugar, your toys, let's go play with some toys. Toys. You've picked up the baby and you've put it back with the toys. You may have to pick up that baby 1,000,000 times. It is irrelevant how many times you have to pick up the baby. It's irrelevant how many times you pick that baby up. So if you pick up the baby and you're not upset with the baby, you're not frustrated with the baby, you just pick up the baby. Oh, you're so sweet. Let's go play some toys. And you go and you play with the toys. What are you doing? That is exactly what you do mentally. Mentally, your brain wants to go back to the old habit. It wants to go back. Yep. It wants to go back because they're shiny. Ooh, the intrigue. So if you get mad at yourself, how are you going to treat yourself? But if you say, oh, here's where I want to be. Here's what I want to think about. Here's what I want to feel. And you point yourself in that other direction, you're going to feel better in mere moments. You are. So keep doing that. That as soon as you feel the feeling, you say, oh, I don't want to fight. Man, I just want a peaceful day. Well, go back to the thoughts and the images of peacefulness in your world. Because we do these things naturally. But the key now is to be deliberate. This is why you observe, right? Without judgment. Because the moment you put the judgment in there, oh my God, what if they don't like me? The moment you put the judgment in there, you will now act according to the judgment. Observe yourself. Just look around and you're going to see it. You'll see what you're doing. And when you see what you're doing, whether it is good, bad, or indifferent, when you see it, you're like, oh, I see you. I see you. Right? Why is that necessary? It is necessary to, because you're not controlling the feelings. They're not wild animals that you control. You're observing them, not controlling, because controlling would now mean you're upset about something and you got to rein it in. Right? That's what it means. But if you just say, oh, let's see what I'm doing here. Yeah. The same attitude is the one you take when you sit down to eat. It's the same attitude. So if you sit down and you eat that thing with the attitude of, ugh, it's so fat. I'm so like, totally like, why? I'm so gross. I'm supposed to be on a diet. But I'm so frustrated. I can't even, I just, and I feel worse for eating this food, man. You're talking to yourself like that as you eat. Do you know what's happening in your body when you do that? You're slowing down digestion. You're slowing it down. And because you're feeling guilty, what do? You eat more. And see, it looks like this vicious cycle. So once you recognize how you're talking to yourself, even as you eat, see what I'm saying? So approach eating differently. Yes. Take your time and savor every bite. Because that's a different mentality. And as long as that's a different mentality, it's a different chemistry in the body. And that different chemistry in the body does what? Allow stuff to break down better. Because think about it. We think that we start to eat when we put food in our mouths. No. If you're looking at that dish, the very fact that your mouth begins to water, what is it doing with water? It's not water, it's salivary amylase. It's an enzyme that breaks down carbohydrates inside your mouth so that when you start to chew, it mixes with the food. It's easier to swallow, for one, and two, it breaks it down into smaller pieces. That's what you're doing. But if you look at that food and you are guilty about eating it, there is no salivary amylase. Because you're looking at it and you're like, it's disgusting. So you don't want to. So now you're chewing that food and it's like a rock. But the moment it is pleasurable, see? So don't eat out of guilt. Don't eat out of guilt. The law always is on. Everywhere. It cannot take a break. So naturally, we don't take a break from being deliberate. So if you look at it, the feelings of guilt will do what? Bring about its own effect. So now you start to act out of guilt because you're rehearsing guilt. And now you get up on the stage of life and you're like, I'm guilty. And then look at the role you'll play. See? Look at the role you play. Observe these things as they are happening in your world. Instead of saying, what? You saying I did that to myself? Yes, I'm saying that to you. But because you're upset, you can't hear it. And you think someone's being insensitive to you. But that doesn't change the way the law works. This person last night posted that the universe is cruel. The universe is cruel. And I said to myself, oh, tell me more. And they were talking about how somebody got what they've been trying to get for years and they just got it accidentally. See that resentment right there? What does that feel like in the body? And then you're asking the question, why isn't that happening to me? Because your attitude is everything is easy for everybody else, not me. So if you are rehearsing that everything is easier for everybody else except for you, you are rehearsing struggle. Well, let's touch that real quick. What's the time? Ooh, okay, Angela, be done in 2 minutes. Come on. We can do this. Hold on, y'all. I don't even know if you know who the Buddha is. Now, when I say Buddha, a lot of people go, oh my God, here we go with a religion again. And Buddha wasn't religious. See, if you are listening to something and you ruffle your feathers or makes you just, right? Check that attitude. The Buddha realized something. The Buddha wanted to know, what role did suffering play in enlightenment? How can I get closer to whatever it is through suffering? So he started to fast. He denied himself everything because, suffering allegedly makes you better. This was the hypothesis. This was the theory he was going to test. Do you know the conclusion that he came to through sheer observation and experimentation? He said, all I could focus on was my suffering. I had no time for enlightenment. My body hurt. And all I wanted to do was relieve my pain. So there was nothing to do with enlightenment. Enlightenment took a back seat. Enlightenment took a back seat in the face of suffering. When we suffer, we are wholly consumed by what we suffer from or suffer with. There is no merit to suffering because it is, and we call it trauma, yes? There's no merit to it. It does not make you stronger. What it does to your body, and the body begins to remember what that feels like and starts to try and avoid it. Now you don't trust people because you don't want to be in that position again, so you're standoffish, right? Suffering, trauma closes you off. It hardens you. Nobody's ever gonna do this to me again. And here now we build this wall around ourselves. But the problem with the wall is it keeps you in and it keeps everything else out, thereby isolating you. Suffering has no merit. You can argue with that all you want, but then there is the evidence to proving the point that you can't see past the fact. Yes, it does. Look how well I turned out. Oh, oh yes. You're good at arguing with yourself. The problem with suffering is it blinds you to everything else because it's all you can see. And when you and I are really just wrapped up in something, you can't see anything else. Nothing gets through to you. Right? But what do? Man, we go out into the world and we play the Suffer Olympics. Ooh, I'm going to get the gold today. Nobody suffered like me. And I'm like, dude, every time you do that, you're reliving it. And then it looks as if, quote unquote, the universe is cruel. Well, it is only law at work. Alan Watts says, as a man thinketh, therefore he is. We only interpret that one way, but there's another way. As a man thinketh, therefore he is. You think, therefore you are. You are aware of the fact that you can think. That's what it means on the other side. As a man thinketh, as he thinketh, well then he is. He's aware. As he thinks, he's aware of what he's thinking. That's why he is. But then, whatever you're thinking about, whatever that predominant mood is, that's going to be your behavior. We don't see that part though, because we're so caught up in it. And the moment you're consumed mentally, but as within, so without. Do you hear what I'm telling you today? If you find yourself engaging in arguments all the time, you, if you observe yourself, are having an argument already in your mind. So how do you stop doing that? By recognizing that you are doing it without judgment. Are you telling me I brought this on myself? You didn't bring it on yourself. You gave birth to it. No, I didn't. I had no control over that. You see, I've explained to you before. The law doesn't care. You see, because what we don't see, and there's a reason for this, and I'm going to tell you this right now. We spend a lot of time debating whether there's a heaven or whether there's a hell. But what we don't see is the mental mood that we habitually occupy. That mental mood that we habitually occupy is now your energetic signature. It's your energetic signature. And that energetic signature, that impression of you, follows you through space and time. And because it follows you through space and time, wherever you end up, I don't know where it is, but it will have to match your present energetic signature. That's all it is. And because it matches, now that's the habit. So because it matches, those are the situations you will have wherever you end up. It just follows you. So because we don't see that part, we think that this that we're doing right now is the beginning. It is not a beginning, it's a continuation of where you left off at. Think about this. You go to bed angry. How do you get up in the morning? Angry. It's just a matter of what that mood is. What is that habitual mood? That is your signature. And because it is your signature, it's how you're going to behave wherever you go. So when you hear, oh, but I didn't do that to myself, nobody sees that energetic signature that carried on. Nobody sees it. Nobody remembers it. So in this present existence, make sure to change your mental attitude and form a habit of something that is better. Because then your experiences are better. They're not a punishment. It is just the law. As within, so without. It's the seed that you carry with you. Well, you're the seed. And whatever that seed is, that's what you give birth to. Wherever you are, wherever you go. So I'm sure we've heard that Earth is a school, it's a teaching ground. We've heard many things about Earth, but the focus is, who am I aware of being at this moment? I know that probably didn't make sense to you. In due time. In due time. So it's not that you've got to engage in every argument. You don't have to defend yourself all the time. And that's why it always reminds me of The Color Purple. All my life I had to fight. Okay, then all your life you will have to fight because you haven't changed your mentality. What good is that going to do? Exactly. What good is it doing you now to have that mentality? So if you remember the analogy or the story of the baby, bring your mind back always to where you want it to be. And that is the role that you're rehearsing. Always bring it back to that, the role that you are rehearsing, and that's the thing you want to play out in your life. Bring it back to that. Bring it back to that. And observe yourself without judgment. Just observe the law for yourself. You will see that everything follows it. You'll see it. What are some of the clues? Oh my God, what a coincidence. That's my favorite one, actually. Coincidence. Oh my God, I was just thinking about you. I was just going to call you. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, I observe a lot. I observe a lot. Usually about myself. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. I want to change that. And when you decide what it is that you want to change, then what do you want to change it to? And remember, at first it's just a thing, but that role has lines in it. The role that you're rehearsing is going to give you something to say or an action to do. So practice that. Because that role that you are rehearsing is the evidence of your freedom, of your success. That's what it is. That's why you rehearse it, because that's what you're looking for. Because you know that the outcome of rehearsal is what? Acting it out, performing. So what do you want to perform in this world? Well, then rehearse that. What would you say? What would you hear being said about you? And I like how Neville put it, because he also said, if you have somebody in your life who's not really all that nice, and you know how they are, some people, oh, look at you, you're trying something else. Why don't you just stop? You're making no headway. You have those kinds of people in your life. But if you rehearse walking by them and hearing, look at her. She thinks she's so great. Every time I see her, she just always looks good. I don't even know what she's doing. She's lying. Man, she must have had work done. Right. If that person naturally would say that about you or to you, if you hear that in your mind, what are you hearing? You're gonna rehearse your reaction to it. What do you think you're rehearsing already? Your reaction to something. Rehearse your reaction. Rehearse your reaction. How would you respond? Rehearse that. Now, me, I'm a little bit dramatic. Okay, a lot dramatic. Are you talking to me? Like, that's how I would be. Because I like to infuse different characters into my conversation. Because that's my personality. Because I love to laugh. And to me, it is funny. Whether you think it's funny or not is irrelevant. At least I get to laugh. And that's what I like. And so that's what I rehearse. That's why I remember movies. So I can do it again. Right? So what are you rehearsing? And how does it make you feel to play it out? Is it how you want to feel? Let me give you an example. For those of you who have children, little ones, I hear people talking about, oh, man, every time I get called to the school all the time. Okay. You know, you look at that child and you think, oh. You look at them and you're like, oh. That's what you do. But change that for a moment. Begin to walk from a place of understanding. We as adults can't even put into words how we feel. And we've been around for a little bit. And we expect little ones, well, they should know better. Look at that attitude towards the child. Now look at the child's attitude. Does it look familiar? Okay. It's not that the child is bad. The child just needs some assistance. A hug. Angela, I'm not hugging no bad kids. You just need to be punished. I'm going to send you somewhere. You don't know nothing about respect. Look at the anger you're coming with because you're frustrated, right? How do you think the child will respond? Nobody's taught the child how to examine feelings yet. So it just naturally will go with the feeling and embody the feeling, thereby yelling at you. Again, it's not that the child is bad. Your perspective of the child is that he is bad or she's bad. So how do you fix it? Be gracious. Understand that, wow, you're learning. I'm learning too. Well, let's learn together. Come and see. And sometimes you don't have to use words. Just sit and hold the child. I'm surprised I don't have more rolling eye emojis. Just sit and hold the child. And that child will change. No, Angela, he's just a bad seed altogether. So long as you are holding bad seed, you will reap the experiences of bad seed. So you have to change your perspective of the child, thereby changing your perspective of yourself. As I said, sometimes you don't have to even use words. Just a hug. Just hold the child. You notice that when you hold babies and you rock a little bit, you soothe them. You think that changes as they get older? No, we still like to be held and to be soothed. And that's what I mean when I say we become so wrapped up in the feelings, it is all we can see. We can't hear anything else. We can't see anything else. And that's it. So take some time and stop telling the child they're a bad child. Because you are planting seeds in a very fertile soil because they're so young. You're a bad boy. Bad boy. And now it grows up with that seed planted in the back of its mind. Oh, you for the streets. Planted and growing in the back of their minds. And nobody has broken that cycle. So we keep repeating it. And then we keep saying. So why did I tell you all of that? Because real life situations and how to apply things. See, we always want to change everybody. When in actuality, it is you that gets to change. So take your time. Take your time. Be gracious with yourself. We're all learning. So how do you expect to be a genius in 20 seconds? Practice. Make this act of being deliberate your lifestyle so that you will realize that you're not constantly swinging out of situations into something else and back and forth all the time, and yet there's no rest or reprieve or relief. Set aside some time. Really, Angela, I don't have any. You know how many jobs I'm working? I don't have time to set aside for anything. You poop on the potty, that's time. You shower, that's time. You drive, whoo. If you drive like me, you might need a break. But I am getting better, though. I am getting better. Mm-hmm. So take some time today and observe the law for yourself. Just take that time. Now, who's here with us today? Who's in these YouTube streets? Hey, Michael. That's what today is. Today is Friday soft launch. You're hilarious. You're hilarious. I like that, though. I do. I like it, Michael. I do. Twitter is as Twitter is. It just is. Oh, but Angela, why do you get up and do this every day? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. What's that have to do with me? I care. My life is not to be there to look and hold up and measure against someone else's. Who else is here? Let's check out Fanbase. Oh, there's a party at Fanbase today. My sweet Casey, hey. Jesse Man is here. Moon and Dolphin Duck. Flo Smiles. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss McQueen. I see you, Sugar. I see you. Just so you know, Miss McQueen, guess who's broody? But you know what? Don't let me say nothing. She laid an egg yesterday, and now she won't get up off that egg. Lord. Who else is here? Ray Ray is in the house. Oracle Treehouse. Hello, Reacher. I see you. Beautiful ones. Hello. Pop in the chat. uh, exactly, beautiful ones. Wherever you are, wherever you're going, that's exactly what's following you. You can't outrun yourself, right? Can't outrun yourself. Oh, Ray Ray. Ray Ray, you firing shots in the chat? Oh, Ray Ray. Oh, Ray Ray, you crack me up. Oh, jeepers. I love you guys. I do. So today, go forth. How is it 6 o'clock? Ugh. How is it 6 o'clock? Ugh. Can't I just do this for half an hour? Ugh. How did we get here? Like, seriously, I don't even look at the clock. I usually have my eyes closed most of the time because the lights, and I dim them on the phone and stuff. But how did we get here? Oh my God. Thanks for your patience, y'all. Don't let me keep you. But go through the day and observe yourself. You can take notes. This is how many times I judged myself today. Why would you take notes? How I take notes? I put a little line. And every time I judge myself, I put a line. And I get to like a certain amount, like 4, I put another line through it and you get 5 lines. So that I have groups of 5. And then after 3 hours, I can look back at that paper and show you how many times I did what I did mentally. And when you start to see it, ooh, that's how you take notes. They're not words, just that little line. And then when you can look at the page and you see how many times you did that one thing, now you're looking at your habit. Ow. Now you're looking at your habit. And how do you make a habit? Doing the same thing the same way every time. So don't worry. Just observe. Just for the love of all things, just observe. Just watch. Watch yourself. Show me what you're working with. You know what? Let's go, y'all. Let's go. And enjoy this beautiful day. Because you know that I love you. I sure do. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peace out.